Welcome back, Blood Bowlers. We're going to be covering 6 games today, 5 league fixtures. One is the outstanding round 1 cup fixture, so we'll be seeing who moves on to round 2. Also, for the coaches, as requested, I have planned out the intentions for all the fixtures going forward so people have an idea of what's to come, and now all the fixtures have been released, apart from the cup fixtures, as we don't know who advances. Everyone should know where and what people are doing. I think we'll start with the cup fixture first, so apologies for leaving you on a blank background, which was the game between Sam's Illustrated Snotlings and Nigel's Badlands Blackhawks. It was an interesting game, it was close, and there was a chance in turn 16 of the second half for Nigel to get a late equaliser. Unfortunately, the plan was sound, the dice rolls were not. The game ended 2-1 to Sam, and 4-2 on casualties also to Sam, meaning Nigel, unfortunately, despite putting up a good fight against a solid opponent, in my opinion, who's far more experienced and has probably got the edge on tactics for the moment, because obviously Nigel's still a new player who is learning and getting better every game. Sam moves on, and as we looked at in the last cup roundup, Sam is to be playing Liam. We will quickly have a look at these round 2 fixtures that are now coming up. Starting with the top fixture, the 2 teams that got a bye into the second round, along with myself, the Nordic Nippers, will be playing each other in a round 1 league fixture replay and cup final from last season replay. The Sneaky Sniggering Kniggets and the Mushroom Pickers both play each other in round 2. Very tasty fixture. It's a tough one to predict. 2 stunty teams going at each other means inducements are going to be low. Mushroom Pickers do have a high team value of, I believe, 1.1 million compared to the Sneaky Sniggering Kniggets, but I believe the Mushroom Pickers have a higher CAS value because the Sneaky Sniggering Kniggets are going to be hampered by the lack of inducements. It was a tie in the fixture, but considering ties are not allowed, I would honestly expect the Mushroom Pickers to pick up the win here, probably in extra time. It all depends on who gets that kickoff, because I still think this match will be a draw, and whoever gets the extra time kickoff probably will win, in my opinion. We have another tasty match, an all-Segunda division tie between the Wild Boys and the Zandri Power Slaves. This is going to be a good match. Both teams are topping the table at the minute in the Segunda division and fighting for that first place spot. So this is a top of the table clash early on, and honestly, I can't tell which way this would go. If I had to put my money on anybody, it would probably just squeeze out to the Wild Boys, just for the simple fact James has just played more games in recent time to John, and John's got ring rust, which is it's shaking off, but you know it's still there. But they're both good coaches. I think they're very similar skilled coaches. I honestly can't pick out this one. Next match is going to be myself versus Lee's Averheim Mashes. It's going to be a round 1 replay of the Premier Division again, like the Sneaky Sniggering Kniggets versus the Mushroom Pickers. Both teams haven't changed terribly much, although I'm going to be going into this match with some missing players, but they are unskilled thralls, and obviously I only have the 11 players anyway, so it's going to be no loss for myself. I have no recollection of how Lee's team is coping, having to play the first round as well, but I would honestly probably expect more of the same. Squeaked victory for my team, but I would like to think that Lee's probably learned from that first game and will give me a damn good run for my money, and I hope he does. I want it to be another interesting and close game, because I don't know about how you guys play, but I much prefer when games are very... Obviously you want to win, but you want to win in a very closely contested match. When it's a blowout, it's kind of... I kind of just sit there and feel bad. And Lee's running me close every time. It's going to be good. The last Cup Round 2 fixture is going to be the Somebodies versus the Illustrated Snotlings. This is going to be a tough match for the Snotlings, and honestly, I'm tipping Liam, you know, for the league this year, for the Premier League, the Lily May Premier Division. I actually am. His opening performances have been strong. He's played a couple of solid coaches. He's yet to play me and Carl. That'll be some of his next big tests. And I think if he can come through them without losing, drawing is fine. I think, honestly, in a fantastic spot. I think compared to the Chaos Chosen team, I think he's found his footing with the Wood Elves. I really, really do. And yeah, people better be worried when they come up against him. Seriously. Fucking nasty. But that is gonna be the round 2 fixtures, and I will tell you when they get played, because obviously we'll be getting through those. Let's move on now to the no, it's not the Lily, it's the Artful Blodger Segunda Division fixtures. 2 fixtures are going to be covered here. Let me double check. Yes, we have a fairly dull affair, but a solid one for the Wild Boys, who played the Badlands Blackhawks of Nigel. It was a 1-0 on touchdowns, 1-0 on Kaz. It wasn't terribly exciting, but points are points, and honestly, you can't argue with that. The other match was much, much, much more interesting, and although skill-wise, and in terms of how the plays went, it was a tight match. It's just the score makes it look like it's a blowout, and I really want to highlight that because I feel sorry for Tom. He really should have got something out of this match, even if it was just some SPP on a losing effort. But it was 2-0 to Stuart's Anti-Heroes and 3-0 on Casualties, which it looks horrible on paper, but from what has been reported and what was seen by me and even by the other coaches, it was a solid performance by Tom, who is game on game, season on season, tournament after tournament, who he's been to a couple now. It's getting better. It's getting better. And honestly, when you consider the first season and the second season, Tom, dude, honestly, props. I thought you were just going to be an absolute shitter for every season, but you're doing bits. There is one outstanding fixture from round 2 of fixtures, which is meant to be the Shaun of the Undead versus the Roaring Juniors, but obviously with Adam leaving the league, I need to talk to Sean and get that sorted. So, that has not been done. Looking now at the points, as you can see, top of the league with 15 points is the Chaos Renegade Wild Boys. And then very closely is the Zandri Power Slaves, with even closer behind the Anti-Heroes. I will pause it here, and then pause it here, so people can look at all the juicy stats. Yes. Moving on to the top scorers so far. Rocket Raccoon leads the scoring charts with 2 touchdowns, and then every other scorer has only scored 1. It's a low-scoring affair, but it's also very split and varied. Chocolate Salty Balls of the Wild Boys, Ed of Shaun of the Undead, Flinger of the Zandri Power Slaves, Fun Bobby of the Wild Boys, Crusher Tef from the Zandri Power Slaves, Lancer Devant from the Wild Boys, Slatum versus the Zandri Power Slaves, and Wade Wilson of the Anti-Heroes, all on 1. Completions, very drab affair. It is quite literally a single horse race with Logan with 1. For casualties, we have 3 on 2, which is Altair on the 2 from the Anti-Heroes, and Morgan Thrash and Raging Bull from the Wild Boys on 2. All on 1 is Agent 47 of the Anti-Heroes, Basham of the Zandri Power Slaves, Dave Lister of the Wild Boys, Judge Shred of the Anti-Heroes, Rushy Tef of the Zandri Power Slaves, Slam Blach of the Zandri Power Slaves, and Shaun of the Undead, all on 1. Moving on now to the Primera Division, the Lily May Primera Division. First match we'll talk about is a hotly contested match between Liam and Rob. Sneaky Sigger and Kniggets versus the Somebodies, the League Cup winner last season versus Liam. It was a 1-1 affair on touchdowns, 1-1 on casualties, and Liam picking up a cheeky little completion, leaving it as a very, very solid draw. No bonuses to be had, unfortunately. The next match was myself versus Carl, a very, very interesting match, which ended 1-1 on touchdowns, but 2-3 on casualties to the Goblins. It was a game where I did have a chance in the dying turns of the game to score to make it 2-1. Unfortunately, the same as it has been done with a few other teams, the dice just decided to say no. So we'll have to settle with a draw there, but it was, again, a hotly contested team. And as you'll see in a minute with the points, the Primera Division It's very, very close. With the exception of the race to the bottom of the league with the two Snotling teams, they're not terribly far away, honestly, considering only 2 games have been played, but everyone's in with a chance. The other game, and the final game we'll be talking about here, is the Averheim Mashers versus the Illustrated Snotlings. This was an interesting game because it was 3-0 to the Averheim Mashers, meaning the touchdown bonus and the clean sheet bonus goes to Lee. And he also picks up the casualty bonus because it was 5-4 on casualties to Lee's team. So Lee picking up maximum points here with 11, if I remember math. Yes, because Kaz bonus and touchdown bonus generate 2 league points each. A clean sheet generates 1 and 6 for the victory. Rocked him up the table, who he was in the Wooden Spoon Contenders. After the first round of fixtures, as you can see on the table, he's now in second, chasing down Liam. So, looking at this table, I will move it over and let you see in a second, but top of the league on 13 points is Liam. Very, very good performance so far. Can he continue with a win and a draw with a touchdown and a casualty bonus? Second on 12 points is Lee with 1 win, 1 draw, but 1 touchdown, 1 Kaz, and 1 clean sheet bonus. I am in joint third with Carl, both on 9 points. The only difference is I've won and drawn. Carl has drawn twice, but Carl has also picked up a casualty and a clean sheet bonus, which is how he's able to catch up despite not winning. In 5th place on 7 points, we have the Sneaky Sniggering Kniggets with 2 draws also, but also picking up a clean sheet bonus. And then in last place, unfortunately, so far, someone who is yet to understand quite how stunty teams work, but again, Sam's a newer coach, he's learning still the game in general, and picking a very hard team to learn at such an early stage in his career. It's bold, but I think trial by fire sometimes works. Sam's Illustrated Snotlings are last on 4 points with 2 defeats and a casualty bonus. I will move across so you guys can see the points, and you'll see what I mean. The contention is pretty hotly contested. I would say, with the exception of Sam, unfortunately, who can still secure safety quite easily, I would say everyone is within a good, reasonable distance of taking the title, with Rob only being 6 points behind, with myself and Carl being 4 points behind, and then 1 point behind is Lee. It's a fantastic division so far, and the Segunda Division last season was incredibly close and very hotly contested, where the Primera Division seems to be doing that this season. Looking at the top scorers, top of the charts, both on 2 touchdowns each, is Eric from the Somebodies, Jay Madison from the Averheim Mashers, and Ilsa from the Nordic Nippers, all on 1 touchdown. Astrid of the Nordic Nippers, Buck My Ass of the Mushroom Pickers, Bucky O'Hare from the Sneaky Sniggering Kniggets, Derek from the Somebodies, Go-Go Gadget from the Illustrated Snotlings, Ian from the Somebodies, and Jay Tyler and T. Jefferson from the Averheim Mashers. Completions is starting to be a hotly contested thing now, with Jay Tyler of the Averheim Mashers on 4, Ilsa of the Nordic Nippers on 3, Nabron of the Somebodies on 2, and Lebron of the Somebodies on casualties. We have quite a few. I will go through them all now. So we have Hugh Janus of the Mushroom Pickers on 3. We have Crash of the Illustrated Snotlings, Otto of the Somebodies, and Paul Chuckle of the Sneaky Sniggering Kniggets all on 2. Then, all on 1 casualty, we have Ainsley of the Somebodies, Badger of the Sneaky Sniggering Kniggets, we have Bang of the Illustrated Snotlings, Bodil of the Nordic Nippers, Buck My Ass of the Mushroom Pickers, D. Trump of the Averheim Mashers, Derek and Eric of the Somebodies, we have Jay Washington of the Averheim Mashers, we have a Riotous Rookie from the Illustrated Snotlings, we have Jay Adams II, Jay Madison, both from the Averheim Mashers, Jerk Me Willie from the Mushroom Pickers, we have Mep from the Illustrated Snotlings, T. Jefferson from the Averheim Mashers, Tick Tick and Wallop, and also Yabba Dabba Doo, all from the Illustrated Snotlings on 1. Very, very good. Now, as I promised, I will show you guys. I organised all the fixtures and I have marked which ones have been complete, so all of the coaches and you guys can see how we intend to go forward with the fixtures. So, the first 3 weeks of 12 have been completed. This Tuesday coming up is the Internationals break, so there will be no Blood Bowl played there, or at least none that's league officiated. People can obviously organize exhibition matches and stuff as you would like. So that would mean the next official Blood Bowl week will be on the 4th of April. I repeat, the 4th of April, where only the Segunda Division teams are going to be playing. I repeat, only the Segunda Division teams, because they have more rounds of fixtures to be played. We're going to have to do some single league fixture rounds to catch them up. So, going forward, as you can see, week 4 is going to be Segunda's round 3 of fixtures. Then, on week 5, it's the second round of the Cup that you saw the fixtures for earlier. Week 6 is Primera's round 3 and Segunda's round 4, followed by Primera's round 4 and Segunda's round 5 of fixtures. Week 8 will be the semi-finals, the winners of all of the Cup round 2 fixtures taking their bets against each other. Week 9 will be the final single league fixture group of the round 6 of fixtures being played on week 9, with the final league fixtures being played on week 10, which is Primera's round 5 and Segunda's round 7 fixtures. In week 11, there will be the relegation playoffs featuring second place of the Artful Blodger Segunda Division and the second to last place of the Lily May Primera Division. And then finally, the Half-a-Leg Cup final will be taking place at a neutral venue, thematically at least, where the Cup final will be played on the final week. That will bring us to a close. Any questions from the coaches, please don't hesitate to ask. Any questions from the fans around the grounds, ask, but be careful. I don't know why, just take it from me. Hope everyone having a good time, and I hope everyone looks forward to these games because I do. So to repeat, all the coaches, you'll be playing your third round of fixtures from the Segunda League only on the 4th of April. See you later, guys.